Welcome back once again. Today is going to be a little bit different. I think I'm going to try this video as a lockdown video. Hopefully this can be a bit of a lockdown series. This is for all you guys out there and girls that are commenting below saying you're in lockdown. I'm going to try and make a bit longer videos because a lot of you guys have been asking. So this video might be a bit longer than the rest. If you do like this, drop the comments down below and let me know. During this coronavirus period, it's going to be quite tough and testing for us all, so we all need to stick together and do our part. If you want to see more of these videos like this, let me know. I'll make a whole series and make them as long as possible without getting too boring. So just let me know. I'm happy to do it. Happy to put in the extra effort, but yeah, let's see how this goes anyway. But if you've been watching some of the videos, you'll see that I did buy another tub of the pink mineral powder. This is a 2 kilo one. It's identical to the other one I had. I've probably got a couple of scoops left in that, so I might try and use that one up today, and then I'll be straight onto this one. Generally with pigeons, this is probably the basic thing. If you're feeding them, and then definitely make sure you got this and grit. I've got a tiny little bit left in there, and then also I have brought another big bag somewhere. I think I've got it in one of these containers over here. This one, here it is. See, another big health grit for racing pigeons. So this is the only brand that I can find in my area. It's 10 kilos, and we've got there's two options. There's one that's actually quite heavy in that reddy colour clay, and then there's this one that's probably heavier in the shell. You can actually probably see the shells there. My birds, they are not interested in those big clumps of clay at all. They always leave them, so there's always heaps of that in the bowl, but they will eat the white stuff. So I get the one that has the most shells, that crush. There's little shells in there. You can probably see them. We'll zoom in a bit, and you can see that there's little shells, oyster shells and stuff like that, and that's basically what my birds seem to smash. They love it. They pick it out. So that's the one I get. I go for the low clay one. So there is two varieties in the store, and this is the one that is better for them, in my opinion. For my birds, all birds are different. Some pigeons are fussy, some aren't. But I also have in here, I've got two of these bags. I've got one in here and one in here, which is a 25 kilo of premium wheat. This is meant to be the real clean stuff. You can see in there that I think it might actually be more like a food grade one, which is like a premium feed. Quote me if I'm wrong, but it's a little bit more than the normal wheat. But this is a backup for the birds in case we go to lockdown. I've obviously got my pigeon mix over there, but I now have two containers full backup of premium wheat. You can see there's another one under there. That's some chick crumble for the little chickens I've got in there. And then also something I need to do today is I need to get and spray that little mite fly thing you guys have been seeing. I've been trying to get him, but he's so tricky. If I can't get him with that, I'm either going to have to hand pick him off, or I've got a backup. This stuff here will knock that fly off its out of there. This is basically just a dust you use for vegetables. I've got a caterpillar problem at the moment anyway, so I'm trying to get rid of the caterpillars so they don't eat all my vegetables. That's my coronavirus backup, all those vegetables there. But if we can't get him, we'll either hand pick him off, or we will dust the pigeons with this, rub it into their feathers, and that will knock every insect off them. And that's quite fine. I've used that many times before, especially as in the younger days as a kid. This stuff was the best stuff at the time, because they never had this fancy spray they got these days. But I just don't think this is working too well with the that fly, but we'll set that aside. I've actually got some vegetables growing here because we're there's none in the supermarkets at the moment, and any of the seedling stores. People are just panic buying everything. It's out of control. So another thing that I want to do shortly is also worm all the birds, especially now the chicks are older. These are my worming tablets here. These are a bit rough on them, but these are the best ones, so we will worm them in the next few days. And then obviously there's a few other products I want to start using as well. Not that that's antibiotics, we don't want that. Turbosol. I'll probably go over the birds and see if there's any canker in their throats, but I haven't seen any, but the weather's been up and down lately, so that stress might bring it on. That's a treatment for a whole bunch of things actually, but we'll keep that aside. An electrolyte, so pretty much we'll just get the worming done, and then we'll move on to a few other bits and pieces. But today we've got to clean this cage out and try and get rid of that little fly. He's pretty cheeky. I've been spraying him, but he keeps coming back, and you guys have seen him, so we need to get him. I need to get that garlic oil on there today too, probably when I feed them. But we'll head out there now and give it a clean. Got all my stuff here. Let's get that out of there. And this, take that out too. Geez, you're a good looking bird. Look at those clean bars. I am a sucker for a good blue bar, and that is a nice clean bar on that. But also like Barla, so figure that one out. That's a bit of a interesting concept. Basically with my Barla line, sorry, I got a bit of a cold at the moment, so my throat's a bit funny. So basically my aim with the Barla line is to produce something that can at least return home from 500 kilometers. It doesn't have to win races, but it needs to be able to return from 500 kilometers. So that's my main bit of a goal with these. And also, generally the pigeons only carry the two colours, so the one that they show, which is the blue bar or checker, whatever, or yeah, Barla. So my game plan here is to get basically all my birds a cross between Big Leo and this little checker hen down here. She's the secret sauce to this. We'll go into her a bit more in another time, but Big Leo up here, I'm going to have to re-chase up the guy that I bred him originally, because parents are imported. I will try and get the actual breeder of this guy here in Australia's website, put in a link below so you can see the birds that he's got. He's actually gone away from the Big Leo Hermans like this at the moment, and into a few other things like Vanderblocks and those type of things, and a few other bits and pieces. So I'll put it up there and you can probably have a look, because he has some beautiful birds, and I think when we eventually get over to the block, we'll bring in some more quality birds like that, even if we just get 2 race teams from the 2 best lofts here in Western Australia, and then basically we can just utilize those birds to bring into the line. So basically when we get out to the farm, I will take the Barlas and have them separate, probably in their own little loft, and then basically Leo's going to be paired back up with that checker hen up the top there, because they have produced some really good babies this year. My friend is meant to be racing them this season, but I think the actual race season might be cancelled here due to coronavirus, so we'll just wait and see. But with my Barlas, we're pretty close there now anyway. We've got a whole bunch of splits here, so pretty much all the young birds here are splits. We've got 6 of them, so that's enough. I don't need to breed any more this season from Leo, because Leo will be paired back up to Storm, because they produce babies and they're going to be separate. So we'll basically have non-split, non-Barlas birds, which will be good race birds, which will come off them, and then any other ones that we bring into it from these other good lofts. And then we'll obviously have our Barlas, which are totally separate, their own little line. Their goal is just to get them out to 500. They don't have to win races. I'm not too fussed, but if they can return from 500, I'll be pretty impressed. So basically that hen's going to be retired anyway. She probably won't do too much breeding. I think she might not even breed this season, because by the looks of it, we're going to have plenty of pairs here. That old Bossy over there must be a cockbird for sure. We've got plenty of young birds here to make probably 2-3 pairs out of, and we should get at least 25% Barlas according to Adam Archer's Pigeons. If you haven't followed his channel, go and follow it. He's been very helpful for me trying to understand all the genetics and push this Barlas project in. Not everyone's cup of tea, but you know, it's fun. It's a bit of a hobby, but you can see we're starting to get some good results. You know, these young birds, it's actually quite hot today too, so they might get a bath. But yeah, we're coming a long way slowly, and we're about to take a big step when we eventually get out of this epidemic and we can actually get on the property and we can really start building a big flock of all sorts of birds. We can bring in more colours as well, but we've got a good little foundation here just to get us started. And I think I might even start breaking some of these birds in just to get them out on the wing. But even that one there, he is so clean now, just like unreal what the actual first proper molt does to him. But just look at him. Look, even better than the hen out of that lot. But what I need to do now is give these perches a scrape and also scrape this floor out. What I do is, most of you, if you've been following this, know that this props down, and I'm just going to put all the birds in there anyway, so I can lock them in there and give this a good clean out. I'm actually so glad that I put that in there, because that has been so helpful, which you'll see. So I might get all the birds in here, and then we can come back and start looking at giving this a clean, because they are molting and it's so messy when they're molting. I just hate molting season. Feathers everywhere. Oh, there goes that fly. There he is. Ah, a little fly, you see him? You are gone. You're in big trouble, mate, when I come back out here. You want to go in there? Come on. Good boy. Oh. This thing here is an absolute monster. This is one of Leo's first babies, and he's like a bloody turkey, this thing. Look at it. It's a bit rough on the molt. Haven't held him in a while. Barla's here. And I've just got this little lock here. Keep them all in there while I give this a good clean. And then you two, come on. I'll put yous over here somewhere on a perch. It doesn't really need much cleaning. Come on. Come on, mini Leos. Oh gosh, look at the feathers under your wing. You guys are pretty much all ready to roll. These guys are super friendly too, which is good. Oh, it's actually quite warm today. I think it's about 34 degrees for winter. We're in autumn, I think, but it's pretty close to winter. Just got this little scraper It actually is pretty much a good fit for these perches, and just go along, get rid of anything that's sitting on there. Anyway, I'll go through and get this bit done. So just another thing that I forgot to do was put on these safety gear. I always wear like a P2 kind of mask anyway while I'm in here to do this work, because it's not nice to breathe that stuff in, and also wear some safety glasses just because the dust seems to irritate my eyes a little bit when I'm scraping around the floor here. So let's get this gear on so that we can start scraping. That is everywhere. That's what I'm using, a 356mm floor scraper, which is pretty good. It's quite thick. It's got a little bit of a sharp edge on it. And then all I did was cut this down because it was quite a bit longer, just so that I can get in and around here pretty easy. So this is the bit that, actually let's get these guys down first. Come on. You're coming down too. Look at the size of these things, they're like turkeys. Come on, gobble gobble. All right. Come on, let's go. Oh, still a bit dusty. Ugh. Better give this a clean too. I usually just spray this with the hose because it goes through. It's pretty easy to clean this little loft. I've actually been getting heaps of questions lately, comments about the actual dimensions and blueprints for this loft. I actually don't have any blueprints. If you really want, I can try and draw up a rough thing, just a freehand draw one, and post a picture of it in the community section. So if that's something you want, drop that down below. It will be very rough, but it'll give you a very good idea to how to build this. It is super simple. This is a pretty roughish loft considering. It didn't take very long to build, and surprisingly quite cheap, this loft, because there isn't much to it. There's just a few posts all through it, like framing, and then the rest is just plywood walls, and I just painted it. Super simple, but if you want, drop the comments down below. I'm more than happy to put something up. So that's something we can do. Now I need to get that fly that's been really bugging us, and then the birds. I was going to give them a bath today because it's a bit warm, but I don't think I will if I'm going to spray them. So I'm just going to spray them. Hopefully we can get that little fly, because he's really starting to annoy me. I'm going to go get the spray. So I'm going to use this, give it one last try. If this doesn't knock that little guy out of them, this cheeky fly. I've just got my mask still on just because it is actually quite still dusty in here because I've just scraped, and the birds are sort of a bit excited. They're flying around, and they're going to keep flying around. So I'm going to get some spray on these birds and see how we go. But let's have a look at this one while we're here. This is a beautiful one, this one. This is Mr. Beast, sorry, Mr. Beast baby. First round we got out of the blue Barla. But we'll give him a quick spray. Hopefully we can sort this little fly thing out. This stuff's actually quite good. It actually will move its way through the feathers, that's what it's saying anyway. I'm just going to get all the areas that that fly possibly hides, generally around the bigger feathers. Because you can see those fly things move really quickly. They dart in and around, especially in around the feathers, because those fly things actually are flat type shape, so they can just quickly duck in behind the wings, edge of these big feathers. So here's the big, I think that's the big turkey one I was looking at before. He's molting, but we'll give you a good little overall spray. Especially get into all those spots potentially where that thing can be hiding. Because we don't like things like that in our loft, do we? Nope. We're done to you, you haven't been done. So say this one's actually the hen. Nice little bird. It's very clean. Like, just super clean, this thing. It's like a big war going on over here. You see them all fighting up here. That's Leo and all his sons. Father and son fights. Those little cockbirds are starting to get a bit too big for their shoes, I think, trying to take on Leo. But you can... Come on, Leo. Come on. Look at that, Big Daddy. He's come through the molt beautiful. Look at the wings on him. He is a beautiful bred bird. I know a lot of people always say, you know, buy the best birds you can. And it's actually worth it. That advice is good. You buy the best you can. I actually paid $250 for him, which for me is a fair bit of money. But the actual owner was selling him for $750, but he just helped me out because I don't really have too many good race birds. But that little fly comes into contact with this stuff, it will kill it, but I'll go through and do the rest of them. Come on, move. Look at this big guy up here. Come on. That's a massive big spider up in there. Hopefully he might be good at keeping the bugs out of here. But that's all the birds done anyway, so let's hopeful we get rid of that thing. Come on. So pretty much, I generally just give that a bit of a hand rinse and whatnot with the tap. I run all the hot water and stale water out of the hose and then give it a clean. And then generally every 1 to 2 weeks, I'll submerge that in a tub full of Virkon S, which is probably the best sanitizer you can get. Kills everything, disinfects everything. So we'll do that probably tomorrow, next few days. I'll show you what I do. I disinfect everything, nest bowls, food bowls, absolutely everything. But I need to get some food in here because these 2 little chicks have been whinging. Worst thing about having these chicks in this loft is that I've always got to have food in here. So I'm going to get some food in now for them. See my new toys? There's this one, and I've got a new steel whippersniffer there, and I've been stocking up on some things. Just as soon as I get on that block, we are going to start clearing it, and I'm going to start picking out where I want to put my loft and everything. It's going to be awesome. But let's get some more food. Let's give them the full one. The babies need to be fed. They're going to start being weaned pretty hard now after today, I think, because I'm going to start trying to break in some of them young birds, get them out for a fly. But most of you know that I've got the new, this is a water drum. It's actually watertight. It's got a little O-ring in there. This is just to keep all the bugs out. I had a bit of an issue with those other tubs that the actual little bugs were getting in somehow. And you guys said to freeze the food too. That's a fantastic idea. Freeze the food to kill anything in it too. So I'm only keeping smaller amounts of food. I'm going to try and use it more, but I'm definitely going to try freezing the food just to kill all the bugs if there's anything in it, which is a fantastic idea. Good job to everyone who's commented that. That's fantastic sharing. But let's go feed them. I can hear you squeaking, trying to get Dad to feed you. Come on. Still pretty dusty in here. I'm going to have to get in with a vacuum cleaner, I think, and give it a good vacuum. I've got a special vacuum for that task, but we'll leave these guys be for now. So that is it for another video. This is the first one of our coronavirus lockdown special. If you guys do want more of this, drop the comments down below. I can definitely try and push out at least one daily video this long. This is probably the longest video I've ever made, so I've tried to keep it reasonably interesting, which is, it's not that easy when you don't have much to film. So we'll keep going with things. If there's anything in here that you say you want to know more about, drop those comments down below as well. I'm going to start going through these products again, but in a bit more detail like we did probably last year, but we're going to revisit it probably a bit better. They're actually not for the pigeons, they're for the garden. I've been planting some garlic, but I've got proper garlic oil here, and then I probably need to throw this one out. I reckon that's it past its use by date. It does say the next year, actually no, 22, so it might last a bit longer, but I might throw that out, get some fresh stuff. But I think I might have to do some Turbosol and maybe some respiratory. It looks like the Barla hen is struggling a little bit. She's probably, probably stressed a bit much with all the babies she's been raising, so that is something we definitely need to do. Probably start doing that in the next video. I might give her some of that respiratory 4-in-1, which will pretty much sort everything out anyway. Airway infections and mucus and things like that. So I think that she is having a little bit of trouble, the poor girl. She's popped out a few babies, so she's going to go into a bit of a rest period for the next 5-6 months. But don't forget, drop comments down below. Let me know what you think. hopefully this hasn't been too boring, and everyone out there, stay safe, stay isolated, do whatever you need to do your part. Hopefully the more of us that do the right thing, the quicker this will be over, because you know what, this is very annoying, because I want to get on this block but I can't, and you know, everyone else's life is impacted everywhere. It's very sad. Hope everyone's staying safe, do the right thing, stay safe and healthy. All right, goodbye.